ladies and gentlemen, welcome to X Marks the Box, an Xbox podcast. My name is Potato, and I'm with my good friend, Ace. Doo-doo-doo.
Hello. My pronouns are she, her, and, well, she, they as well. But anyway, so I think we could consider this to be a quiet week because I think all of us are now like waiting for Starfield to come out. Like, we already got the premium content upgrades because we got Game Pass, and now we're just waiting. So but we're still waiting until like 1st of September, and that's where the game comes out. So now I've just been thinking about this one. Also did some like extra bits too. And what do you think?
Yeah. I can't wait for Starfield. This is getting on my nerves. It just feels like it's just never going to get here. I'm just like, come on, I want to play it already. Yeah, I mean, spoilers for what we've been playing. I'll get to that when I come to it, but it's like literally nothing. Starfield is like my be all and end all at the moment. So I'm really excited for Starfield. I beat Zelda last week. I got all the shrines, all the light routes, which is like basically the underground. So I cleared the underground, I cleared the overground. So I basically did all the main story stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm done with Zelda now. And now I'm like, I don't know what to play. I'm literally like, I want to play Starfield, but literally I don't want to play anything else. The only other two games I was considering are Fallout 4 and Cyberpunk 2077. But Cyberpunk's getting an update with a load of new stuff in like a couple of weeks. And then Fallout 4's getting a new like Xbox Series X update at some point in the next couple of months or next year or something, like soon-ish. So it's like, I don't want to play either of them now because they're going to get updated soon. So it's like, what do I play? Anyway, Starfield, can't wait. Friday, we're both going to be playing it probably. And
it's on Friday because I thought that's
the big news. Or?
Well, I think the what I heard about Starfield, I think there's more information coming out. Apparently, 90% of all planets will be barren just for you to visit to collect resources. So it just kind of makes me think. Do that. Yeah, so it just kind of makes me think, like, how is it going to be factored in? Like, do you have to explore empty planets before you get to other crest lines? Or is this something like they're all out of the way, only from the mods to, like, use them up?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more likely. Well, mods will be. So, I mean, this is old news. They mentioned this like ages ago, but the mods will probably update it. Yeah, they'll add stuff to it, I imagine. I think also they're trying to be a bit more realistic. If they're like we've never, like, as far as like the human race is concerned, we've never found life on another planet yet. So why would we just randomly there'd be life on every single planet going forward? You know. But I think they did say there's going to be, like, hidden bases and, like, people, like, who have been stranded there and stuff. So there's going to be stuff to find. But they're not going to be, like, over the top with it. They said they want it to be kind of realistic. Obviously, they want to still make it a fun game to play. So they're going to have, like, balance the two. Yeah. I don't really know, to be honest, which way they're going to go with it. But, as I said, there's going to be a reason to go to these planets. I'm looking forward to having my own planet that no one ever, like, my own planets where no one's around because people suck. I want my own personal space, my own planet away from everybody. Like, go away, this is my planet. No, I'm joking, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so we have a special announcement. Next week we are starting a new podcast. Ooh. Do you want to officially announce it for us, or as you put all the effort into making the logos and all that? So I think you deserve to make the effort. And you kind of both came up with the name. I came up with a name, and then you changed it, which is better.
Yeah. So let's get on with it because we can get this announcement out of the way first, and then we can talk all about it. So I'm going to announce to you that remember we did a Halo There Limited One podcast where we briefly discussed about Halo Infinite. Well, now, coming soon on September, there will be another Limited One podcast, which will be named as Space Skyrim, which is a think it's a limited one podcast that's based on Starfield, and most of the time we'll be discussing our gameplay experiences as well as some news as we receive them, so we can get to discuss all things Starfield without actually having to talk too much about it in the main podcast. So it will premiere about next week, and it will be mostly audio only. So if you're watching it on YouTube, like, I think it's going to be on exclusive to YouTube anyway by the release schedule of Halo there. But when you get to watching YouTube, it will be audio only, and we're thinking like using screenshots of the game in the background based on the experiences. So it's pretty much us play the game and just talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, Space Skyrim. We had a couple of names for the show. I thought Space Nords, I thought was quite a funny one. And my original pitch for the name was Skyrim in space, but I think Space Skyrim kind of gives it a bit more is a bit more quick and punchy, I guess. Yes. I still like Skyrim in space, but Space Skyrim works too. I think I'm quite happy with it. Really looking forward to starting this podcast. It's been something we've been planning for a couple of months now.
Yes.
We knew we were... Ever since we did Halo there, we were like, well, we got to do a Starfield podcast as soon as Starfield comes out. And it was just trying to... Obviously, we're not going to start doing it before the game comes out. So we're just waiting for it to come out now.
I think it's the other way around, actually, because... Like, we're thinking of like limited to one podcasts and thought we could do Starfield, but Starfield is not going to come out until September, and we need something in between while we wait for it. So we ended up with Halo there, and that's where we got our Halo Infinite podcast, which also covers other Halo stuff as well. But, yes, it's just like, how do I put it? It's the podcast we been working on for some time, and I kind of forgot what I was going to say, but
all right. I mean, it's one of those things that it took us months to come up with a good name for it as well. I think Space Skyrim is quite a funny name for a Starfield podcast. I hope you guys like it. But yeah, it's just basically like, what the hell do we call this podcast? I've been trying to come up with names for months, and that's what we ended up landing on. So hopefully you guys...
I know. The reason I came up with Space Skyrim because it's not only snappier, but it's also related to like Jace from like Dragon Ball Z Abridged, where he just keeps saying anything that is like Earth related that's in space. So you have Space Australia, Space Eggs, and whatnot.
Also, there's a video on my YouTube channel where I played No Man's Sky back in the day, and I invented Space Canada. And the Space Canadians are after me. So, it is kind of a running joke. That's a thing that we've had for a while. The Space Canadians are after me, and they were like Terrence and Phillip from South Park. It was a very, very random episode. It was a very random Let's Play video. But yeah, it's one of my favorites actually going back and looking at. But
I should check it out.
Space Skyrim. Hopefully, you'll I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Space Skyrim coming out next week at some point. We don't know exactly when. We're going to both probably be playing early access Starfield. It's basically when we both feel like we have enough to talk about, I guess. And we have good like spare time as well. So, hopefully sooner rather than later. Hopefully over the weekend or Monday, Tuesday-ish. Early next week, basically. And then we're going to come up with a proper schedule after that. But obviously we want to try and get it out as soon as the game comes out, more or less, because we want to be like hitting the hot topics, Yes.
Well,
it's striking while the iron is hot. So that's pretty much our off-topic thing. But I did also want to mention that I went to London on Sunday, and that was a lot of fun. I went to see All Elite Wrestling. Woo! If I can get them. I bought this flag.
Nice.
Yeah. AEW. I don't know if you can see it all. But yeah, AEW. If you don't know what AEW is, it's All Elite Wrestling. It's basically everyone knows what WWE is, but AEW is kind of like this own thing. They like 5 years ago they were told it was like a bet to say they couldn't sell out a 20,000 seat arena. They did it. And then they said they couldn't do a whole show, and then they did that. And then they said they couldn't get they couldn't get on TV, and they did that. Couldn't have 2 TV shows, they did that. And now they're going, bet you couldn't sell out Wembley Stadium, and they did. So it's an 80,000 seater arena, and I was there. 81,000 people went to this show. It was the highest attended wrestling show of all time, or highest paid attended wrestling show of all time, apparently, which is insane to think. Filling up Wembley Stadium, it was absolutely chaotic. I went 10 a.m. in the morning, drove to London, went to the show, came back at 4:30 in the morning, and I still haven't quite recovered. So if I'm look like I'm really tired, that is why. All Elite Wrestling is your fault. But no, I mean, obviously you guys, I'm a big wrestling fan. I'm wearing my Roman Reigns shirt right now. I have a wrestling channel, Potato Pro Wrestling. So if you want to hear me talk more about wrestling, I have a whole channel dedicated for that. So go check that out. But yeah, it's just one of the best events I've been to in years. It was absolutely incredible. Never been to Wembley. Have you ever been to Wembley Stadium? Because that was the first time I ever went to Wembley Stadium.
I'm not quite sure, because I know I've been to the Millennium Dome that has been repurposed as the O2 Arena.
Millennium Dome, that's the O2, yeah.
But I'm not sure if I've been to Millennium Stadium. I know I've been to like a couple of rugby matches all those years ago, but I don't know if they're hosted there or whether it's at the Millennium Stadium. I'm not sure.
So the Welsh rugby is held in the Millennium Stadium, the Principality in Cardiff.
Yes. Yeah, that's
it was Millennium Stadium, Principality. You'll think if you went to the England rugby, they host it in Twickenham, which is another.
Oh, I think that's what it is. Yeah.
No, the Wembley Stadium is this big circular arena with a giant singular arch over it. And it's the arch is a 66-degree angle to celebrate them winning the World Cup in 1966. Which I think is really, really cringe. Honestly, like, really? Okay. All right, that's a bit cringe that you've said that. But all right. It's a cool stadium, though. My friend Dean was like, oh, this is my favorite stadium I've ever been to and all this. And I'm like, okay. But I'm patriotic, so I'm going to say Principality is the best stadium just because it's in Cardiff. Patriotism.
I don't know if you noticed too, but CM Punk also supported like trans rights by helping the support and held the flag up. He did. And he also that was cool. It goes at the Prime Minister for like having anti-trans views too. So I think that is quite a sweet one, really.
That is true. I forgot to mention that did happen as well. Unfortunately, I mean, we're going into wrestling news here. Unfortunately, when he went backstage, he got into a fight with someone, so that was fun. In a real life fight, not wrestling fights. And he got kicked from the building, so I don't know what happened there, so that's good fun.
No, that's a shame, really.
He seems to be quite an he seems like quite an argumentative person, but hey, at least he's pro LGBTQ,
pro trans.
Yeah, that's the right term, right?
Also,
pro trans, yeah.
But I think it just shows like how the hooliganism of like sports, and sadly it just seems like with those fights happening, it just shows like there's still transphobia around Great Britain, and sadly this is quite a worrying sight for us. But I think it also means for us to like stand together and fight, because otherwise, like if we're gonna like pretend as if this is not happening, then we're just gonna end up like having issues with it. Like it could affect our podcast because it's just also involves my rights too, and it does actually sadden me when when there's fights or other sorts of transphobia going on. Then that is not very pleasing.
Yeah, I don't think the fight. Oh yeah, so I'm sorry if I misspoke a bit. The fight with CM Punk backstage has nothing to do with the trans right thing.
Oh, is it?
He was having an argument with. No, he was having an argument with a guy called Jack Perry because they said that they wanted him to use fake glass in a match, and he was refused to use fake glass, and then he was like, "Oh, it's real glass because I'm not a coward," basically, which is like weird thing to argue about. And then they both went home, and this is what the news is anyway. The wrestling news, I can't be 100% sure, but yeah. And then he's had fights with people in the past as well. CM Punk, he's quite argumentative apparently, but. Yeah, it's cool that he's pro-trans, though. I think that's awesome, and I think that's a good thing to stand for. He actually has a pro-trans shirt that's like, he has like that's like his logo. He does that. There's a pro-trans version of that on the AEW site, so that's worth checking out. It's got the trans flag on it, so yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I forgot about that, but yeah, I don't know. I had a really good time in London. It was a good night out. It was. I'm exhausted still, though. I still haven't recovered. I don't drink. Yeah, I feel like I'm hungover. That's like how much of a day off it was. It was so. Oh, it was exhausting, but it was such a fun day. Me and my friends going out to watch wrestling, and now I'm obsessed with wrestling with AEW. Now all of a sudden, I've been watching like AEW religiously the last like all the way through. Like my day, like when I'm not working, I'm just looking at AEW stuff. So hilarious. But yeah, really fun. Highly recommend. So that gets us to our beginning.
Yeah, I've been over to like Essex and Bristol about a month ago.
Okay,
and also drove over to Land's End too. So, but I even got somehow lethargic, and I had a huge lie-in today as well because I think there's so much activity or where I'm at, even in like Cornwall, and it's just like it's just really exhausting. Like I got more positive. I had a really bad depression episode, but I was actually like cheerful yesterday. But now I'm just like, I could be in bed all day, but then I don't want to be in bed all day because I need to eat.
Yeah, no, I've been having a bit of a down session as well. To be fair, I've been struggling. It's not something I usually like to bring up on the podcast. I'm not sure if I've mentioned it on the podcast before, but I think I'll mention it just in case because it's nice news. My dad's been in hospital for the last couple of months, and I think I might have mentioned it previously at some point during the podcast.
I don't think you did. You just said like family issues.
Family issues, but yeah, he's out of hospital now, so that's good. So he's on the mend. So that's so I had the wrestling on Sunday, and then I visited my dad on the Monday. So I had a nice weekend, but now I'm exhausted. It's been a busy weekend. I was saying to my mum that I need a weekend from my weekend. I need a weekend to recover from my weekend. I'm that exhausted. Oh my god!
You should try the Inception method where you go into dream, slows down time so you can enjoy another weekend. And if that doesn't work, then sleep in that dream, and then you have another dream where you go through another weekend.
Yeah, I do like how I sleep. To be fair, you can't. If I could get away with that, I totally would. But yeah, did any of you guys go to All In? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to have heard your story if any of you did end up going, because 81,000 people. There's odds on that someone watching this might have actually been to that show. So if you did, that'd be really cool. Anyway, let's get back to talking about video games. So what have we been playing? Ta-da! What have we been playing? I'm going to start off. I've been playing fuck all. Nothing. I was saying this earlier to you. I literally said this at the beginning of the podcast. I beat Zelda last week, and now I'm kind of like in this like abyss of like, what do I play? I don't want to start a big game and not be able to finish it or anything like that. So I've just been like tinkering around, and I played Castle Crashers for like 10 minutes, and I bought Armored Core, played it for about half hour, got to the first boss pissed me off, so I got a refund from Xbox, sold it. Oh my god! And I'm sure that game's fun. I probably will buy Armored Core again when it gets cheaper, but I didn't want to play 60 quid for a game that I'm just going to play once and get pissed off on. So when it's a bit quieter in the gaming space, when there's like I got time to play something, and it goes down in price, I'll probably buy it then. But yeah, I've been eyeing up games. Like I was thinking, I might play Red Dead Redemption 2, but I can't find my disc. It's just gone.
That's a shame.
I don't know where my Red Dead Redemption 2 is. So it's 14 quid on the store, so I'm tempted to buy the digital version just so I can play it. And then I was saying earlier, I wanted to play Cyberpunk, I wanted to play Fallout 4, but both of them are getting updates within the next couple of months, so I'd rather wait until they get the updates before I play them. So it's just like, what do I play? There's like nothing to play. I've just hit the install update for AEW Fight Forever. I haven't played that in a while, so I'm in a big AEW mood, so I think I might play some of that tonight. They've just added a 30-player Battle Royale mode called Stadium Stampede, to the wrestling game. So that sounds random and fun. So I'm going to probably play that tonight. But apart from that, not played anything really. So but what have you been playing? Hopefully you can save the podcast of our gaming credibility.
I've played just Halo Infinite. That's it.
Ooh, I do like Halo Infinite. Look, the event's finished this week, isn't it? Like the Cyber Showdown.
Yeah,
I finished last week, right?
It did finish anyway. So, and Halo Infinite is all I've played this week. So it's just like playing Big Team Battle heavies and a few bits. Just going to the weekly challenges. Got a weekly reward, but then I did a few matches. But then I'm like, I don't want to play too much. I got a Switch OLED, but I haven't been playing it that much either. So it's just like just watching stuff on YouTube and catching up with Marvel movies on like Disney Plus. So, but that's all I've been doing this week.
Yeah, you were talking to me about watching Endgame the other day. You were talking about Thanos and how all the characters in Halo look like Thanos, or like the brutes do. Anyway, they like got that design. Yeah, I love MCU. As I was saying before we started recording the podcast, I haven't watched Secret Invasion yet, but you said it's not really that great, so I might check it out still. I'm not sure. I haven't got around to watching it yet.
Yes.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was good.
I seen that last night. Watched it a second time.
Yeah. Do you enjoy it?
Yeah. Also, I like those baby raccoons and just got me into watching raccoon videos.
Yeah. Also, like that I remember when I went to go see Guardians of the Galaxy 3, as soon as I came home, I just gave my dog a big hug. It just made me feel sad. I'm just like, oh no. Oh, poor animals. It made me really upset seeing all those animals getting like hurt like that. Yeah. I haven't watched it back since I went to the cinema to see it, but it's a good film. And I quite liked Ant-Man, even though a lot of people hated it. I thought it was all right. Was it Quantumania? It was a bit weird, but I enjoyed it.
That's good. The Quantumania didn't go well for me, but I like the first two Ant-Man films. This is how you make Ant-Man films. Yeah.
The first two were better, but I did enjoy Quantumania for what it was. I didn't think it was a bad film at all, really.
That's good to hear, really. I was kind of a bit disappointed by it, so...
Yeah.
But, yeah. But
Loki Season 2 looks good.
Sorry?
Loki Season 2 looks good.
Oh, it's coming out on October, so I just cannot wait for it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That could be fun.
And they already got the promotions going on. Like, there's the Loki promotion where there's sweet and sour sauce for the nuggets. Okay, that's fine.
What?
Yeah, there's a Loki branded sweet and sour sauce for the nuggets.
Okay, and we're kind of going off topic again here, but it reminds me of Rick and Morty with their Swashron sauce?
Saison sauce.
Swashron sauce. I can't even pronounce it. The special sauce.
Yes.
Saswan. I found my weakness. I can't pronounce that sauce.
Swashron sauce.
Worcestershire.
Swashron sauce of some sort.
Worcestershire? Worcestershire sauce. Tomato ketchup. Let's go. Anyway. So, yeah, we haven't been playing much this week then. So, you've been MCUing. I've been AEW. And that's pretty much it. We haven't really been gaming. But next week, we're pretty much just going to be playing Starfield 24/7, I imagine. I mean, I am. I don't know about you. I'm pretty sure I am going to be. Just gonna... Yeah, oh man, it's gonna be 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I was trying to book a whole week off work, but I couldn't, so I was a bit annoyed. But I got a couple of days off, so yay.
Let's move on now. So, to sum up, we haven't been playing much, and it's just me on Halo Infinite. That's it. So now we're just on to the news. And Stalker's been delayed to 2024.
Yeah, that's bad for my fantasy draft. We'll talk about the fantasy draft in a minute, but I think I've replaced it, and I'm not sure if I've updated that, if it's been updated yet, but we will cover that when we get to it. But yeah, it's a shame. I really was looking forward to Stalker 2. We were just saying last week that it might be coming out in December, and then it's been pushed to
Oblivion.
2024 now.
Yeah.
Pushed to Oblivion. So I was saying, like, wouldn't it be great if this year we had Starfield, then Forza, then Call of Duty, then Stalker, like 1 month between each one of them for big games on Xbox on Game Pass? That would have been incredible, but unfortunately, that didn't happen. So, but as we've said before, the war in Ukraine, I totally understand why you would be delayed. You take as long as you guys need. Honestly, we're not gonna ever go at you for being delayed or anything. It's totally understandable. We're just looking forward to it. I hope it's good when it comes out. Fingers crossed. Next year, fingers crossed, it'll be really good, and I'm really looking forward to it. Are you looking forward to Stalker 2?
I haven't been thinking about it though, so. But I think as we get close to the release date, we can like check it out. But my mind's on like Starfield a lot, so.
Me too.
Yeah. Speaking of which, many anomalous sources have claimed they have seen no bugs in Starfield, so this is really promising.
Fingers crossed. I'm hoping that they're not talking out their ass, but like according to many multiple sources that I've looked at and read reviews of, a lot of them have said that they have not. Well, they've said they've had some glitches, but nothing game breaking. And any glitches they have found, they've already been patched out in the day one patch. So that's pretty impressive that this game seems to be almost bug free for a bug festa game, which is interesting.
Well,
I mean, I'm very excited.
Yeah, the Starfield's updated like about yesterday or the day before, but it just reminds me like Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion has got lots of game-breaking bugs because, well, like you have quests that if you do it in a different way to what is intended, you end up like not being able to complete quests, and it's just something like I have to read through the walkthrough and make sure I don't get through them, and it just kind of spoils the fun of like doing the story. But I did eventually complete all the quest lines in Oblivion as well as Skyrim. But I also remember there was a game-breaking bug too, where if you get all the Daedric artifacts in Skyrim, you may not get achievement, which I believe since then has been like fixed.
Yeah, maybe I'm lucky, but I never really experienced any bad glitches when I play these games. Maybe because I play them on console, I guess. I don't know.
Well, you still get those bugs on console, but either way, like, if you haven't encountered any bugs while you're playing Skyrim and Oblivion, then I think it's quite likely Starfield will be the game of the year for you.
I hope so. I mean, can it be game of the year when I've just played Zelda Tears of the Kingdom? Because that game is absolutely incredible as well. How could both those games come out in the same year? That's just insane. And then there's also Spider-Man coming out this year as well, which is also going to be incredible. Oh, it's too much good stuff this year. This year has been absolutely insane. And if Starfield is even like half as good as I expected it to be, it's going to be an incredible year. For one of the best years in gaming ever, possibly. Absolutely incredible.
It's leaked though.
I'm excited.
Yeah, someone that just like stolen Starfield games from the warehouse and posted stuff on Instagram about it.
Oh yeah, so that is on one of our stories yet. So there is a Starfield leaker. He recorded his screen in portrait mode, showing how to play the game. I haven't watched the footage because I didn't want to be spoiled.
No,
but I've heard stuff about it. Apparently, the guy took like 10 minutes to figure out how to put a helmet on and stuff like that. Apparently, this guy is a complete moron. Didn't know how to play the video game. Apparently, so there you go. Basically, he didn't break any NDAs or anything because what he did, he broke into a warehouse, stole about 60 copies of the game. And then he put them on his chair and he goes, "Hey guys, I'm selling these online." Like, you a fucking moron. So the police, obviously, he's been arrested and he's basically he's like, how stupid can you be? You're going to break the law and then you're going to put it on Instagram and brag about it.
Oh, dear.
Oh, god, people are so stupid. That's natural selection. He's good. Bye, moron. Why would you do that?
It reminds me of those, like, you know, those, I think it's Fail Blog, where you used to have videos of wobbers who you did those dumb things. Or there's even a TV show, like, ages ago, when there's, like, wobbers going into their own cars and then realizing they're breaking into their own cars. And it's just like that.
My favorite story is when the guy broke into a bank. He was, like, trying to take out a bank, and all he did was draw pen on his face. He thought the people wouldn't be able to recognize him. He had paint on his face. Yeah, so this guy's an idiot. So, but if you're really desperate to see the first few hours of Starfield off someone's handheld camera and with someone who can't play the game, then go ahead and watch it.
Don't say your peril.
Yeah, at your own risk. Exactly. I wouldn't do it. But I'm still excited for the game. But yeah, idiot. Would you pay for one of his stolen games? Probably not. I wouldn't. I don't think I would. But idiot, moron. I just can't believe how stupid some people are.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
anyway,
that's just like buying for a real life GTA, really.
Yeah. I can't believe some people. But it also proves how hype this game is. It's kind of crazy the hype I've seen for this game. This is probably the most hyped up Xbox game I've seen since Halo 3, maybe. I think this is the biggest release in Xbox history, one of the biggest releases in Xbox history at this point in time. And then I was thinking about it, as much as I'm excited for Fable and Avowed and Hellblade and Clockwork Revolution and all that, do any of them live up to Starfield? I don't, at least in the hype factor, I don't think they do. But it'd be interesting to see what else Xbox has up their sleeves over the next few years. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, idiot's gone to jail. Good for him. So Xbox have just announced their Summer of Arcade 50th anniversary sale. Woohoo!
Yes.
If you're not aware of Summer of Arcade, it was a program they did in the Xbox 360 days about 15 years ago, which makes me feel really old because I remember this. They released basically these high-profile indie games and sold them at a good price, and they basically promoted them on the page. It's basically when there was a quiet month in the middle of the summer, they just go, "Here's a month's worth of really good, polished indie games for you to play." And basically now every single game that was on that program is now on sale, or the vast majority of them anyway.
Really? How come?
Well, you writ down part of the end summer sale has over 1,000 titles discounted, so that's cool. I didn't know that part.
Yeah, there's a huge sale going on where over 1,000 games have been discounted, and it might explain why you saw Red Dead Redemption 2 on sale for £14, because it's a huge sale and you have all those games which you can buy. So it will be interesting to see what I can find and see if I can get any of those games at a good price. So it'll be interesting. But I'm still checking out the 15th anniversary sale and see what they got. Because obviously the good games to me are Dust, there's Trials HD, and there's even a few other games too. It makes me wonder whether they're just going to release a Minecraft skin pack, because they used to release it for the Xbox 360 game, and it has all those classic skins on it. It just makes me wonder whether they're going to release this pack again for the Minecraft marketplace. If they do, that would be sweet.
That'd be cool. But there's some of the games, basically, I watched the trailer for it earlier, so there's some of the games on there that look really good. I played a lot of them. You got Tony Hawk's 1 and 2 remastered, you got Shadow Complex, you got Trials HD, Castle Crashers remastered, which I just bought for £4. Very good game.
You got Braid, you got Bastion, all those sort of things. Yeah. It's really special.
There's so many good games. There's a trailer on Xbox's channel that's just got up today. Summer of Arcade 50th anniversary sale. Watch that and then have a look at what games you fancy, because there's so much good choice. I would recommend buying some games. Get some indie games. Hell yeah!
Speaking of which, so we got all the rundown of all those games that have been announced during Gamescom. The biggest one is Age of Empires 4 has been shadow dropped on Xbox. So yeah, Shadow Drop, like Hi-Fi Rush, except it might have been known before, but it's already like on
Yeah,
Game Pass. Also, along with it
very
will
cool.
be Dungeons 4 coming out on November the 9th. Replaced has been delayed to next year, which is a shame because that's on my Fantasy Critic, but it's coming
Yeah,
to Game Pass. And there's also a Persona 3 coming to Game Pass in February 2024. But on
excited
the
for that.
same year, you get SteamWorld Build, as well as Stalker 2 coming to Game Pass. And then you have Justin coming on 31st of October. I think it's a climbing platformer, as seen doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like kind of like Journey, but you're climbing instead of walking. You just climbing a mountain. Essentially, you just keep climbing and climbing. I've heard good things about it. It looks interesting. Apparently, it's a demo on Steam right now if you want to play it and give it a try. But I've not really got a decent enough computer to try it. But if
Yeah.
you have, go ahead.
But yeah,
Yeah,
you also got the Citizen Sleeper 2, Headbangers, and of course the Pigeon Simulator will be all coming to Game Pass.
ooh, very cool. Caw-caw. Yeah, very excited. So, shall we move? Speaking of fantasy cricket, should we move on to our fantasy cricket?
Yes. Let's look through it quickly because I think there were some changes because there's a couple of games announced during
Excited.
Gamescom that are delayed to next year, which are my list is replaced and Tekken 8. So I replaced it with Sonic Superstars and Cocoon.
You replace.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Okay.
And then Cocoon. Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, you might have. So that's so Sonic. What was it? Sonic Superstars Cocoon. I replaced Stalker with Lords of the Fallen. I've seen good things. Good people seem to be really into that game. It looks interesting. It's probably going to get a -10 score now or something. But from what people have been saying about it, it looks interesting. It's like a Dark Souls game, but it's kind of almost like in a way like Zelda. Like you got like the Dark World and the Light World you go between. So that's kind of cool. And it is apparently there's like if you the whole idea of the game was there was going to be no fast travel. But apparently they thought that was too hard, so now there's no fast travel in New Game Plus for that game. So that's interesting. It's like it looks like a really fun game, Lords of the Fallen. I don't think it's going to get that high of a score, but I thought I'd just give it a try, give it a punt. I was deciding between should I get that, Just Ant, which we just discussed, or Payday 3. I couldn't decide which one of those three I wanted to get. I landed on Lords of the Fallen as my replacement for Stalker 2. So, fingers crossed. Stars is an interesting choice. Because Sonic games, even though the fans love them, they don't normally do that well on Metacritic, as far as I'm aware. But it looks good to me. I'm really excited for it. It looks like it's coming out very similar time as Mario Wonder, but I like it looks like very similar to Mario Wonder, and I like 2D platformers. I'm very excited to try this one out, Superstars.
So,
what do you think?
Yeah, I think there was some competition, but I think it's more the case that Sonic Superstars will be trying for a score, where Super Mario Wonder is always going to end up with a top score. But speaking of which, on my list, Sea of Stars has got a surprise rating of like 90, which means it's got 20 points on my Critic, so that's cool.
Oh, that's an update on my side. Oh, yeah, no. I was looking at the wrong thing. I was looking at Sword of the Sea.
Yeah.
Like I had an update on my side. I looked at the wrong bloody game. Oh yeah, 20 points. Well done. That's a good get. It's a good get. And then I also got to loot the game that I refunded, Armored Core 6. I got 15 points for that. Armored Core 6 came out this week as well, which is 85, which gave me 15 points.
Yes.
So I got 78 points. I'm 1 point behind the PlayStation guys at 79, and then you're way out front with 170. It looks like you're probably going to win, but you haven't got that many games left to collect on, and I've still got Starfield and Forza, and that's my big two.
Well, the next two... the next
Mario as well.
Yeah. The next 2 months will be like a bunch of games there as well, so September is going to be like about four-ish games, but October is going to be a huge one. So it'll be like knowing whether this is going to work out for all of us. But mind you, there's a few games that may not come out, and I took risks on like Mirror the Hollower and Hollow Knight Silk Song. So it just seems like and there's also
Cocoon as well seems a bit risky.
Yeah,
but it's going to be good if it comes out because there's a good team behind it. But you're way ahead, so I wouldn't worry too much. I think you've probably got this in the bag. If Starfield's really good and Forza's really good, I have a chance of catching you. But I got Alan Wake 2 as well, and Mario Wonder, Mario RPG. So I don't think I have a chance of catching you, but it's gonna be tight. You're 100 points ahead of me, so it's gonna be an interesting catch if I can catch up.
Yeah.
Let us know what you guys think of our Fantasy League in the comments below, and do you want us to do it again next year? Because I really enjoyed it, and I'd love to do it again next year for sure, and see if we can get the PlayStation guys to actually draft their own team next year.
That would be fun.
Yay. So is that all our news for today? I think that's all our news.
Yep. And then the top of the week is...
Topic of the week. Gamescom. Deutschland. 9. Xbox has had the biggest presence they've ever had at Gamescom. They showed off the first half hour of Starfield, which I'm surprised hasn't. Well, it's leaked. That one guy leaked it, but I mean, it hasn't leaked from the showing in the cinema, which I'm surprised by. I thought they would have. They had a 300-seater cinema where they were showing the first half hour of Starfield, and it's not leaked as far as I'm concerned. And then they also showed a teaser trailer for Fallout the TV show, which also hasn't leaked as far as I'm aware.
I haven't seen Starfield intro or advert, as well as a Fallout TV show, so I have yet to check those out.
Yeah, as I said, the intro, I don't think they're on YouTube or anything. You can only see them if you're in the Gamescom floor, which is really gutted.
Feels like Comic-Con of sorts, because you only catch trailers unless someone grabs the camera and films it and put it on YouTube.
Well, that's why I'm surprised no one's done that. As far as I'm aware, I haven't seen any of these leaked at all, which is interesting. People really highly praising it. People are really excited for it. Watch a load of videos of people talking about it and stuff, so that's interesting. Gamescom looks like it was a really big event for Xbox this year. Yeah, they had they're like a spacesuit that you can put your head into and you can take photos with and stuff. So you look like you're part of the Starfield game and stuff like that. So they have like little funny things like that. They had Stalker 2 available, so people have been playing Stalker 2, said it looks good. So that's good. They had it in the interviews with Phil Spencer, Matt Booty, and Ninja Theory.
How the interviews go?
Yeah, apparently Phil Spencer's not a cat person, which I know you're going to hate Xbox forever because of that.
Yeah, I think it just makes me more convinced that I'm going to buy a PlayStation 5. I think I've got a space for it, so I might as well get that. But no, only kidding.
How much space you got? To get a fit a PS5 in there, you need like a massive space. You need like a second room, right?
Yeah.
PS5.
I think my TV stand could manage if it's horizontal. But anyway.
Well, I don't know.
But yeah, it's just Phil Spencer's a dog person. I'm more of a cat person. Stop.
Team dogs. Yeah.
I still have the fear of dogs anyway, but I'm just still coping with them around. So
I love my dog. My dog's the best. His dog is called Oogie, and it's a rescue dog. Oogie. That was part of that was literally part of one of the interviews, so I it's a bit off topic, I know. But yeah, they were talking Matt Booty was talking about no one Matt Booty, someone else. I'm trying to think, like, there was loads of interviews. I'm trying to think of what, like, I'm so confused because there's so many interviews I've sat through.
Yeah. I suppose you could try to remember what's the huge things you got out of these interviews.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yes.
Gamescom. I'm just having a quick look at what pops up when I put Gamescom and see if I can remember. It jogs my memory. I got a memory of a police save. Do do do. I put Gamescom and then it came up as Game Showcase. That's not what I wanted. I wanted Gamescom. Stupid YouTube. Stupid YouTube. Yeah. Oh no, I forgot to mention we were talking about Starfield earlier. They had the first ever live action trailer revealed for Starfield at the Gamescom convention as well, which is cool. It looked like a really cool trailer. I'm excited for it. There. Yep. I was trying to find the interview of the person I was talking about earlier, and I can't find the interview now.
Yeah, I
Great.
think it sounds as if it's done by Eurogamer for Phil Spencer, but
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so then there was like I can't remember who was saying it, but one of the Xbox people said that they've been playing it for 150. They've been playing Starfield for 150 hours, so they still have not barely scratched the surface. They said the length of the story is about 50 hours, and that's just the start of the game. And apparently there's new game plus. Yeah. Oh yeah, and you've just sent me a picture. Phil won not Phil. Xbox in general won the Green Award for the best green company in the gaming industry, which is cool. A green is in. I know Xbox is technically a green is in the color of the logo and stuff, but green is in like environmental.
So are we expecting a clear green Xbox with renewable materials in it?
Yes. We're gonna have an Xbox that's made of wood, and it's gonna have like cogs in it, like a water that just drops into it. It's like turns the power on with that. Like a wind turbine attached to the top of it. That'd be awesome. I would buy that.
Yes,
like an environmental Xbox.
We could have highlighted the
cool.
interviewer notes, but I think it's just
yeah, I should have done a. I did. Yeah, I did say we should do that while I was in work, but I was in work till 6 o'clock, so then we just started recording straight away, so I didn't get a chance. Unfortunately, but yeah, it was a lot of cool stuff, a lot of game interviews. Senua's Saga looks interesting. They were talking about how they got a new studio to record stuff in the basement of their office, which is cool.
Seeing that doing the Xbox conference.
Yeah, they got a big. Yeah, they got. There's not just going to be Senua in this game now. There's going to be a big cast of characters, and cool. They're not going to announce who these characters are until a later date. But look forward to that apparently. So that's going to be cool. Yeah, they were interviewing the actress who's played Senua, who used to be a video editor for Ninja Theory and now has become the main character, which is kind of crazy to think. It's a bit of a change in roles, that is. Could you imagine being a video editor and then suddenly becoming the main character in a video game? That just seems really weird. It's like one jump extreme to the other. But they showed footage of Senua, the woman who played Senua. I can't remember her name. She has a load of cool, cute dogs, actually, as well. We were talking about dogs, but then they also showed her fighting her husband with like foam swords, like to practice for like the fight scenes during COVID, that was pretty cool. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what other interviews. I watched loads of interviews, so many interviews. But yeah, there's a lot to cover. Xbox really went all in here for Gamescom, and it makes me want to go Gamescom next year. Hopefully we can. Saying that, AEW is coming back next year, so maybe not. Like, I gotta choose.
But I don't know if someone went for the notes with Phil Spencer interview, and I may have mentioned it last week, but I think it's pretty certain that the Xbox Series S is still going to be around, and he's also heavy for like mobile games, which I also mentioned. But yeah, I think it's just talking about free-to-play games, give them support. And he's also talked about the PlayStation Portal, which back then is talking about Project Q. So, but yeah, I think I don't know if I mentioned about this one, but it sounds that he said that there could be the end of the beginning with the Xbox Series X. And I don't know if it means we're going to go into the whole prime time of like Xbox like 8th generation, or whether that, or 9th generation. Yeah, 9th generation,
while
and
off.
whether they're just gonna
Yeah.
have like improved consoles. But they're already like focusing on like 1 terabyte Xbox Series S. But yeah, I think it's just like, yeah,
Yeah.
just going through the what we usually know and what we knew last week. So it's nothing
Yeah, and
incredibly new.
he also mentioned that he has got some staff to go over to Larian Studios and try and get Baldur's Gate 3 working on the Xbox, and that looks like that's going to get done this year as well. So that's good. Because for a while it looked like we were going to get Baldur's Gate 3, which is good. Now it's actually going to come to Xbox. So, yay! Are you interested in Baldur's Gate 3? Because I've heard good things, but it doesn't look like my cup of tea, to be honest.
Not
What do
interested
you
really.
think?
I think it does involve a
Starfield, I think.
villain. I don't know if it's a villain that's played by J.K. Simmons or some sort. I don't know because I
Oh,
saw a
okay.
clip of it and where
I
the
want Spider-Man. I want pictures of Spider-Man. Wrong series, JK. Funny.
But apart from that,
But
I
yeah,
think that Gamescom is like I don't know if it's still going on until like before this podcast because
I think it's pretty much finished. Yeah, more or less finished, I think. I'm not 100% sure. It's like a 3 or 4 day conference. So I want to go. I want to go to Gamescom, but yeah, I will have to see. As I said, they just announced that AEW All In is going to Wembley Stadium again next year. So if I have to choose between Gamescom and AEW All In 2, I'm going to be very. I can't decide. Why do they have to be at the same time? It's not fair.
also
Why will you make me choose?
I don't know if it's been mentioned last week or not, but Todd Howard has said he could have been a bit more casual with the Elder Scrolls 6 announcement, adding
Yes, you did
that
say that, yeah.
it's I think it's just he mentioned it and the game was still in pre-production and that was back in like
Yeah.
2018. But now I think it just
Yes.
seems as if he's focusing on Starfield and that's about it. Because I think he's around like Gamescom or some sort.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to the next Elder Scrolls game, but don't hold your breath if we're going to be seeing it anytime soon.
Yeah.
We've got a vow next year to keep kind of tide us over, I think, where if you want your fantasy fix. And then Fable's coming out after that, so that's also going to help with your fantasy fix. But no Elder Scrolls for a while, unfortunately. Sad face. That makes me sad.
Yeah.
Make a Morrowind remake, goddammit.
Yeah. I think,
yeah.
but yeah, it's definitely the biggest Gamescom for Xbox. And it looks like we already got lots of interesting information, and some of which is already mentioned in the news. But I think with that, I think we just cleared this up with the final question for you.
The final question. I have a question for you. I think that's how your video thing goes, right?
I couldn't think of the idea of what I can ask you this time.
Oh, okay. Thanks for watching. I'm going to. I'm trying to think if I have any questions.
Well, I can ask you one though. Is yeah. So, oh gosh, yeah. So, is there any other games that you're interested in apart from like Starfield for this year?
Okay, this year,
Yes.
2023. So on an Xbox, I am looking forward to Forza. Forza's gonna be fun.
Cool.
I'm looking forward to Forza. I can drive fast. 4K, 60 frames a second, ray tracing. Sounds fun. Honestly, I'm very excited for Mario Wonder. I'm very excited for Spider-Man 2, but neither of them are coming to Xbox. But if we're sticking strictly to Xbox, Forza and Starfield are my main two. Persona 5 Tactica, that looks fun. I'm looking forward to that because I like tactics games and I like Persona 5 from what I played. So I'm kind of interested in playing that as well. Sea of Stars looks interesting. I'm interested to actually try that out, but I think it's poorly timed because it's coming out like a day before Starfield. Just like, I don't like. What are you doing? You come out a week ago, or come out like in a month's time. It's like bad timing. But I really would like to try to see your stars out as well. I think. How about you? What games are you looking forward to apart from Starfield?
Well, Starfield is that anything only new game I'd like to try out this year, and that's it. Because
what about Sonic?
Well, not interested in that either. It sounds as if I have to buy it, but I think the interesting game that I'm still not going to buy, but there's Avatar, like, I think it was something of Pandora.
Pandora, yeah, I'm not interested in that at all. But that's interesting. I have no interest in the Avatar at all. It's like, ooh, it's Pocahontas in space.
I see The Way of Water on Disney Plus like a few days ago, and it's like, oh, cool. And then I just checked out the gameplay overview trailer for it, and it's like, that's cool. But then, I don't know, let's see how the review scores go on. Because as far as any Ubisoft game, I mean, I'm not excited for any Ubisoft game, but it'll be interesting to see like how Avatar Mists of Pandora is going to turn out. But who knows?
Yeah, I'm not interested in that in the slightest. But hey, if it's good, it's good. That'd be nice. Yes, did you like The Way of Water? Because I haven't watched it yet. Is you think it was any good? Or
It's like Star Wars Episode 1, and it's prettier, but the story is a bit naff. But it's certainly a fun viewing experience for about 3 hours.
I don't get why the original Avatar is one of the most viewed films of all time. I just don't understand that.
Still made loads of money.
Ever. I don't know why. I don't get it. It's so weird to me. I don't understand it.
Right. I think we're about to complete the speed one. So, yeah. But so we'll finish the podcast, and not a lot on this week. And we couldn't find any ideas because once we get into next week's podcast, so much Starfield,
baby.
And I think some of them might leak into the next episode of it. But yeah, subscribe to our channel for Space Skyrim. And yeah, this is what we're going to check out. So until then, I've just got to
comment, like, subscribe.
Yeah, that's right.
Comment, like, subscribe, leave your stuff in the comments. Yeah, Space Skyrim coming next week. Look forward to it. We're very excited. Skyrim in space. Skyrim in space. Starfield. Very excited. Thank you guys for watching. I know it was a bit of a quiet week this week. We kind of rushed through a lot of stuff, but we're very excited for Starfield. The next week should be a big episode. Probably the biggest episode in XMB history, possibly. Thank you guys for watching. And until next time, to Sweat. Goodbye.
Bye.
Au revoir. What's goodbye in German?
Thank you for listening to the X Marks the Box podcast. Follow us at X Marks Box on Twitter or X Marks the Box on YouTube. And follow us on all audio podcast services. Thanks for listening.